Welcome back. The Pentagon confirming 24 people have been hurt under 14 attacks on U.S. bases in the Middle East. This is just in the last week. Pentagon officials say these attacks in Iraq and Syria have Iran's fingerprints all over them. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken is now warning Tehran about this at the UN Security Council yesterday. Watch.
The United States does not seek conflict with Iran. We do not want this war to widen. But if Iran or its proxies attack U.S. personnel anywhere, make no mistake, we will defend our people, we will defend our security swiftly and decisively.
Joining me right now to talk more about that is California Congressman, House Judiciary Committee member, and House Foreign Affairs Committee member Darrell Issa. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
Thanks for having me on, Maria, and thank you so much for covering the men and women who have gone in harm's way and been injured.
Absolutely. The House Foreign Affairs Committee got a briefing on Iran yesterday that you say was a major disappointment. You hear Anthony Blinken talking the way he is. It seems tough. I would have liked to see President Biden say what Anthony Blinken said. But why was that briefing so disappointing?
Well, Maria, first of all, there were 20 minutes of them talking without a single classified statement occurring. So, you know, that's not a classified briefing, even though there were some questions and answers later that fell into classified area. But second of all, when they can say to us in this sort of a session that they don't have the smoking gun, they don't have sufficient evidence of Iran's involvement in the attack by Hamas on Israel, you look and say that doesn't pass the sniff test. Clearly, the weapons, the money, the support, everything except possibly a telegram saying or an email saying, please attack now, is there. And so the idea that they go into a classified session and say, well, we don't really have the evidence is hogwash, to be honest.
So why would they be misleading us? I mean, for God's sakes, the Wall Street Journal had the details of meetings over the past couple of months where Iran was basically directing Hamas to come in. How does the Wall Street Journal know? And you're telling me you didn't get that from your intelligence briefing?
Well, exactly. That's what made this such a ridiculous event. And I think the chairman and the rest of us, including many of the Democrats, were just, looking and saying, you know what, there's no point in going into a classified briefing to be told things that in public they might want to say, well, we don't actually have enough evidence. But as you say, it is now open and clear that Hamas continues to orchestrate the attacks on our soldiers, sailors, and Marines. And remember, this is just almost the anniversary of 40 years ago when so many were killed in the Beirut bombing by what is now known as Hezbollah, a proxy of Iran.
How worried are you that this widens out and we see a terrorist attack on U.S. soil?
What I'm worried about is that America will not show the kind of strength and determination that causes Iran to back down. Time and time again, when we've shown strength, including during the Reagan era, Iran has backed down. To be honest, it took sinking of an Iranian ship some years ago to get them to quit attacking ships in the Gulf. But sometimes expanding and showing strength is exactly how you prevent a wider conflict. We've been showing weakness. It is now starting to show all over the world. And I fear that as my governor sits in China, we're showing China that it's probably okay for them to participate in their expansionist goals, including Taiwan.
Well, it's a good point because it's the same approach to China, a soft approach. They won't even call China an adversary. It took them, more than a week to even mention Iran's name with regard to the Israel conflict. And now you say that you've got California Governor Gavin Newsom sitting down with the Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing earlier. They are apparently discussing climate change, the fentanyl crisis, and economic trade. This is the first time Xi has met with a U.S. governor in over 6 years, Congressman. Newsom also met with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, this ahead of the three-day trip to the United States for meetings with Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. And don't forget, Congressman Issa, just the other day, what did Gavin Newsom say? I wish I were president, he said.
Well, I'm glad he's not president, but he certainly has that ambition. And remember, the Chinese use visits at this level for propaganda. So the idea that America is more interested in climate change from the world's #1 consumer of coal, the #1 buyer of Iranian oil, works to their favor because they can talk about their production of green energy and California's desire to go all green, even if it causes California to have an exodus, as it does, of over 400,000 of its citizens every year.
Yeah. House Republicans, meanwhile, choosing Louisiana Congressman Mike Johnson for the new Speaker nominee. Johnson winning 129 votes last night. The full chamber expected to vote at noon today. Congressman, does Johnson have the 217 votes? Are you supporting him?
Well, I'm supporting him. He didn't have it last night, as none of the candidates had, but I think he's made the good effort to reach out to the members to get us back together. This is one of those challenges where once you've sort of broken the egg, it's hard to get the shell back together. But Mike is popular on people in the center right and both wings of our party. So I think he's got a very, very good chance. He has the support of the former Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, and of Jim Jordan. So that's a big start. And some of the appropriators that did not vote for Jordan have said they will vote for him. So we're hopeful.
So what about this aid that we're expected to send to Israel? You know, the president wants to package everything, aid to Israel as well as aid to Ukraine. He's talking about humanitarian aid to Palestinian people. Is that going to fly?
Well, I don't think it's going to fly as it comes in from the administration. It's a design that I don't think fits our voting. The fact is there's overwhelming bipartisan support for Israel. There's also overwhelming bipartisan support for Ukraine, but these have to be fashioned in a way that Republicans who are leading can live with. And once we get a speaker, we plan on doing just that. When it comes to the Palestinian aid, I've got to tell you, we've got to be very nuanced because aid for the Palestinians, yes. Aid in any way that goes to Hamas, no way.
Yeah.
And right now, they are not easy to separate.
And, you know, they'll get in the middle of it, right, and use it for weapons or whatever, terrorists, whatever they use it for.
Well, you know, as Israel clears Hamas out of portions of Gaza, there will be Palestinian people in need of real support. But until there's a control by some government that we can trust, I don't think anything more than basic, food and water should go in there under any circumstances. And I think my views are shared by many of us, not just because we're pro-Israel, but because it's important that we not fund terrorism.
Congressman, thank you for being here today.